All right, people. Welcome to your Weekend Bizzle, formerly known as Saturday Morning Bizzle. I soon realized that was extremely unlikely to happen on a regular basis. It's Saturday afternoon right now. I'm meeting my mom out in the suburbs to see Black Panther for the second time. Some of you might be shocked that I've only seen it once so far, but it was such an affecting experience. I remember it so well, I didn't feel like I needed to rush. I knew I'd be going back with my mom, and inevitably I'll get it on Blu-ray and digital and watch it plenty of times in the future, but it's such an intense movie and so colorful. It didn't feel like something I needed to see a bunch of times to really love and appreciate what was going on. Um, I won't keep harping on this if you listen to my podcast. I did start my podcast 3 years ago, partially on the basis of the Black Panther announcements. My excitement about it, the respect I gained for Marvel Studios for even attempting such an adult and serious and complicated, potentially controversial, and not super popular property in the comic books. And as it's gotten closer, I predicted that it would tie or beat The Last Jedi, the most recent Star Wars movie, in terms of box office sales. It looks to be doing just that. Had a record-breaking opening weekend, beating even the Avengers, which made $1.5 billion, Jurassic World, which made $1.6 billion, and so forth. So I might have another report for you after that. But I'm going to be trying to really do this weekly. It's going to be kept under 10 minutes. It's going to be an update of what went on this past week and what to expect this next week from the BizzleCast and maybe some things in the Bizzle's world if I have time. So I first want to announce that I did have a computer crash a few weeks ago, and so while I had a slew of Star Wars podcasts that did really well, I was sort of out of commission for a couple of weeks. I did a great podcast with Brittany about Batgirl, which has since been canned in Joss Whedon's left DC, which is disappointing, but not that surprising. But Batgirl remains an awesome comic book character, and I hope to release that at some point. It's just kind of dated at this point. I recorded it so long ago. I recorded another podcast with Jedi Geek Girl about Ahsoka and launching our new series entitled the Star Wars Lorecast, which will still be under the regular Bizzlecast headline and feed. That too I never got to finish. However, last night I did an amazing podcast with Jedi Geek Girl about the most recent Star Wars Rebels animated series episodes, which have been unbelievably cool and fantastic. That show's wrapping up on Monday. So I've already released that podcast, Bizzlecast 125, called Ahsoka Lives, all caps, obviously. Thank God. And one of the most trippy animated or cinematic experiences ever. I highly recommend it. It's getting wrapped up with basically an hour-and-a-half long movie on Monday, so we'll probably have a response to that as well. I also recorded most of a tabletop board gaming podcast with Matt Goisman, Matty G. He did lose power because of the storm at one point, so we still have a little bit of recording, so expect that a little bit later in the week. We talked a lot about Will Wheaton's tabletop, which got me into modern board gaming, which sort of got Matt even more into modern board gaming. He was a little bit more exposed than me. I didn't even know what a freaking Euro game was, or or any of these companies or types of games or anything. What rubber banding meant, and so forth. It's been a great experience for me. And we talked about some of our tabletop experiences and a lot of just our favorite moments of Will Wheaton's excellent tabletop show, which you can watch the entire 4 seasons of, plus bonus content on YouTube for free on Felicia Day's Geek and Sundry channel. So hopefully that will be out. I will probably have I'll definitely have more podcasts coming up, which may include a Wonder Woman commentary I'm hoping to do with my dad. It's kind of a long movie, and so I hope to have him for at least part of the movie, because as much as I love Black Panther, and even though Black Panther is a little bit more flawless in terms of there not being any major sections that drag or stuff that people didn't like, whereas Wonder Woman's ending is sort of controversial and drags on a little too long, Wonder Woman is still a little bit higher on my personal list, and people already forget that did for women in terms of comic book movies, or started to do what Black Panther has been doing for people of color. And I want to compare and contrast how different the movies were, but also some of the similarities in terms of social implications. So expect a Wonder Woman commentary. I've also been thinking about, even though I've already released a Rogue One commentary a long time ago, even though I watch Rogue One all the time, I constantly have it on in the background, even on mute while I'm doing podcasts or just doing other things. I love watching it. I love that movie. I'm thinking of doing The Last Jedi Blu-ray DVD comes out end of March, and it's going to have Rian Johnson's full director's commentary, which is a first for the new Disney films, or maybe the new Lucasfilm Disney films, which is a first for Lucasfilm, I think, ever, to have an audio commentary from the director upon release. But it's important because it's such a controversial movie and confusing to a lot of people. It'll be interesting to see. So I'm thinking of doing another new commentary for Rogue One in light of The Last Jedi, in light of developments in nerd culture, a lot of stuff I don't really like, a lot of ugliness coming out with nerds and so forth. That's not really high on my priority list because the commentary for The Last Jedi will be high on my list. Now, I usually don't listen to directors' commentaries before I do my commentary. The exception would be Joss Whedon did 2 separate commentaries of Serenity, the Firefly movie that wrapped up the series. So I knew a good deal about Serenity and behind the scenes of Firefly before that one. But I probably will listen to Rian Johnson's commentary first and then talk about the cool and important and interesting parts of my own Last Jedi commentary. So expect that in late March. I should say now that Star Wars Rebels is wrapping up, I hope to hear from Amon. I hope to hear from Simi. I hope to maybe hear from Adam Dietz about the whole thing. And we also have the Han Solo movie coming up, even before the release of The Last Jedi, I believe, or maybe it's the same weekend. That's a nice little synergy they're doing. And me and Jedi Geek Girl are way more optimistic and excited about Han Solo than most people. I understand people's tempered expectations. Even if they liked Last Jedi, Han Solo seems like pure fan service and is, Ehrenreich, Monsieur Ehrenreich going to be able to really channel Han Solo. And I think the supporting cast, especially Donald Glover as Lando, will be so great. And Ehrenreich is very, very charming. I think it's going to work awesomely. And it'll look great and be super fun and funny. It'll be like a caper movie with Ron Howard, like take the Dan Brown movies but make them better, and then Star Wars with Han Solo and Lando and Chewbacca and so forth. So we'll probably do a wrap-up of that. Let's see, how's my time? Oh, I still have a couple minutes. I'm just sitting in traffic here, a little bit away from the theater, of course. Always traffic now in Philadelphia, but usually that's a good sign for a city, I suppose. I want to also mention that I've been trying to get my Twitch stream going. I guess not surprisingly, it's even with a MacBook Pro, which is not a professional level MacBook Pro, with a $29 capture program and a Twitch account, I can stream from my computer pretty damn easily. Now, my computer is 13 inches. It's not a gaming system. It can't handle any action games that have recently come out at all. I still have to play those on my PlayStation. And while PlayStation does stream directly to Twitch, you don't have that much control over it. And so, Horizon Zero Dawn is a perfect example of one that you have to do through the PlayStation. It's now at its 1-year anniversary. Congratulations, Horizon, to Ashley Birch, who voices Aloy, and the whole design team at Guerrilla out in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. Congratulations to them, and it is the best-selling new IP for PlayStation 4, and maybe the best-selling new IP for PlayStation in general since Uncharted, I'm guessing. I think they've sold 8 or 9 million copies at least of Horizon, and they're going to keep selling them. It's on sale right now at the PlayStation Store. I highly recommend it if you have a PlayStation. That was something else that we talked about in the Brick Girl podcast, which I may release separately, because it's not really time sensitive, and we love talking about Aloy and Horizon Zero Dawn and so forth. So anyway, I've been doing some streaming from my computer, where I can do a video of myself while recording, although I'm still working on some of the video settings. I've been playing Stellaris, which if you guys have ever played strategy games, I think most of you would be familiar with the game Civilization, which is now on its 6th incarnation, Civilization 6. But really, any of the civilizations are excellent. And if you've played Civilization before, just imagine it in space. Instead of controlling big sort of blobs of land, it is about controlling star systems, colonizing planets, building star bases. But it's kind of more fun in some ways. Not only do you get to build your own star fleets and see them fight bad guys in real time, which is awesome and looks beautiful even on my computer, but it's kind of it's strategic more in the way I like, in that you don't need to be the biggest empire. You just need to control the right star systems and get basically get choke points where you have to jump between two systems to get somewhere, but if you control that point, anyways, it's a lot of fun building space empires, and they just released a 2.0 version of Stellaris, and it's looking like it is going to earn the title Civilization in Space. So please do check out my stream. It's twitch.tv/the Bizzle, actually. And Twitch makes it pretty easy to do an instant transfer right upon completion. With a couple clicks, you can immediately upload it directly from Twitch to YouTube. My YouTube account, I believe, is youtube.com/slipkid7, SLIPKID7. That's a reference from The Who. And you can